In this video, we are going to work on finding the area and perimeter of polygons in a coordinate plane. So we're going to apply a little coordinate geometry to this lesson. We are going to also be working on the distance formula. That's what we're going to be applying a lot of. So let's go ahead and take a look. For the first problem, I want you to find the area and the perimeter of the triangle with the given vertices. So we are going to start off this problem by actually plotting these vertices. I'm going to plot -3, 2, and I'm going to label that as A. Then I'm going to plot 6, 2, and I'm going to label that as B. And then the last one I'm going to plot is C, which is at 4, 7. And I'm going to go ahead and sketch in my triangle. We're first going to find the perimeter. Recall that perimeter is just the distance around an object or a polygon. So if I'm going to find the distance of all the sides, I'm going to have to use the distance formula. And let's go ahead and find AC. Remember the distance formula, so let's write this down just in case we forgot. The distance formula is the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So I'm going to take the square root of that entire, or of both of those differences squared. So for AC, I'm going to take my x values between A and C and subtract them, so -3 minus 4 squared. Plus, now I'm going to take the y values and subtract those, so that's going to be 2 minus 7 squared. Well, -3 minus 4 is -7, and if I square that, I get 49 plus, well, 2 minus 7 is -5, and if I square that, I get 25. And if I take 49 and I add 25, we end up with the square root of 74. Okay, so AC is the square root of 74, and I'm going to label that in my picture. So that's the square root of 74. Next, I'm going to find the side length of CB. So for CB, I'm going to take my x values, and I'm going to subtract them. So 6 minus 4 squared plus, take my y values and subtract them. So 2 minus 7 squared. Well, 6 minus 4 is 2, and if I square that, I get 4. Plus, 2 minus 7 is -5, and if I square that, I get 25. So this ends up being the square root of 29. So CB is the square root of 29. Now, staying over with my picture, I see that A and B are both on a horizontal line, so I can go ahead and find the length of AB simply by counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The length of AB is 9. So if I'm going to find the entire perimeter, and we'll label that as P, I'm going to take the square root of 74, add the square root of 29, and then add 9. So we can go ahead and put that into my calculator. Square root of 24 plus square root of 9 plus 9. Did I count that right? I end up with 21.98. Actually, let me try that again. Square root of 74 plus the square root of 29 plus 9 is actually 22.988, we'll say. And since it's perimeter, we're just going to go ahead and say units. None were given to me. So it's 22.988 units. All right, let's go ahead and find area. We're dealing with a triangle. And area of a triangle, I take the base times the height, and I divide it by 2. Well, in this situation, I'm going to go ahead and use side AB as my base. So the length of the base is 9. And now I need to find a height. Well, height of a triangle is the altitude, which means I need to come from the vertex of the opposite side. So the vertex of the opposite side from AB is C, and I'm going to come straight down to form that right angle so I have a height. And I'm going to go ahead and count the length there. That ends up being 5, so my height is 5. So if I want to find the area, I'm going to take 9 times 5 and divide it by 2. Well, that's going to be 45 divided by 2, which is 22.5. And since I'm talking about area, it's going to be units squared. So there you have it. There's how we find the perimeter and area of a triangle given the vertices. Let's take a look at one more example. We want to find the area and the perimeter of the following trapezoid. So let's start by plotting our points here. 0, -1, I'm going to call A. -7, -1, I'm going to call B. -5, 4, I'm going to call that C. And then -2, 4, I'm going to call that D. And here is my trapezoid. Let's first start out finding the perimeter. It looks like AB, since they're both on a horizontal line, that will be easy to calculate the perimeter, or the distance between A and B. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That distance right there is 7. CD will also be easy to calculate because I can just take the length between C and D, which is 3. So let's go ahead and find the distance between BC and the distance between DA. Pause the video. I want you to try that. And when you're done, come back and let's see how you did. Welcome back. If I'm going to find the distance of BC, I'm going to use the distance formula. I'm going to take -7 minus a -5 and square it, plus -1 minus 4 and square it. Well, a negative and a negative in the first parenthesis becomes a positive. So that's going to be a -2 squared, which is going to be 4. Plus, -1 minus 4 is -5 squared, is 25. So I get the square root of 29. So BC is the square root of 29. And now I'm going to go ahead and find DA. So I'm going to use the distance formula. I'm going to go 0 minus -2 squared, plus -1 minus 4 squared. Well, this will become a plus. So 2 squared here, plus, this will be a -5 squared. Well, 2 squared is 4, plus 25 ends up being the square root of 29. So if I'm going to find the perimeter, I have 3 plus 7, plus I have 2 square roots of 29. So when I put that on my calculator, 3 plus 7 plus 2 square roots of 29, I end up getting about 20.77 units. So there we go. There is the perimeter of that trapezoid. Okay, the last thing we need to find is the area. And I'm not going to worry about the formula for area of a trapezoid because I can divide it into a couple things I know. I can divide it into triangles and rectangles. If you look here, if I draw an altitude from C straight down, I have this triangle that I've drawn in red. I can find the area of that triangle because the base right here is a distance of 2, and the height between C and that base is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to find the area of the triangle, just like we did last time, I'm going to take 2 times 5 and I'm going to divide it by 2. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. So the area of that red triangle is 5. Well, I'm going to draw another triangle from D straight down. So I have this blue triangle. This distance is 2 on the base. The height is 5. So to find the area of that triangle, I am again going to take 2 times 5 divided by 2, which is 5. So that's 5. Well, in the middle here, what I'm left with is this rectangle. And the length of the base of the rectangle is 3, and the height is 5. So 3 times 5 is going to give me 15. So if I want to find the total area, I'm going to add up the two triangles and the rectangle. So 5 plus 15 is going to give me 25, and since it's area, units squared. So there you have it. Now go ahead and move on to the next part of this session so you can have a little bit of practice. Nice work.